Let's start our class. So last time we discussed about listening and reading skills. So they are receptive skills, and to some extent they are, similar also. Um, Pre-listening, while listening, post-listening. These three stages or stage model we apply while teaching listening skill. In the same way, so pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening, these stages. This is I call this is what stage model. Stage model we apply. Okay. Then at that here pre-reading and while reading, and this is post-reading. Okay. So the activities which we use in pre-listening will be also applicable in pre-reading skill. Pre-listening, pre-reading, the activities which we use in while listening can also be used in while reading, post-listening, post-reading. So this is to a large extent they are similar. So if we understand listening, then we can use in reading also, but the activities will be what different. For example, if techniques are asked, so in listening, like Simon says, then dictation, then hearing mistakes, same are different, spot the differences or find the differences, rhyming words we use in listening. In reading, loud reading, silent reading, or jigsaw reading, then model reading, and then a mistake in reading, and then improving the speed of reading. These are the techniques will differ. Okay, यो चाहिँ हामीले छलफल गरेका थियौं. And different types of reading text we discussed there: literary text and non-literary text. Literary text, like poem, drama, short story, essay. These 4 different forms of literature can be used as a reading text in lower secondary level. Poem is reading text, drama is reading text, short story is reading text, and essay is reading text. We can use these literary text. And non-literary text, like advertisement, condolence, sympathy, newspaper, then a report, pie chart, table. So different these text we can use while teaching reading. So if you want to get more about the reading, so I just suggest you to read one book, that is just I want to show you. This is Grillet's book. This book is Developing Reading Skills. Just I want to show you. This book is very useful in teaching reading and developing reading skills. This is the book. Yes, this is Developing Reading Skills, Francis Grillet. From here, you can get many ideas about different text of reading, different reading skills. Okay. Yes, what is reading comprehension? What do we read? Yes, this is what do we read, means text. This is what text. What do we read? What do we read? Here are the main text types one usually comes across, like novels, short stories, tales, other literary text, and passages like essays, diaries, anecdotes, biographies, plays, poems, limericks, nursery rhymes, letters, postcards, telegrams, notes, newspaper, magazines, articles, headlines, editorials, letters to the editors, stop press, classified advertisement, whether broadcast, radio, TV, theater programs, and specialized articles, reports, reviews, essay, business letter, summaries, precis, accounts, pamphlets, handbooks, textbook, guidebooks, recipes. So travel brochure, catalogs, puzzles, problems, rules for games, instructions, directions. These are what different, text we can use in, reading class. So you can read this book for detailed understanding. Why do we read? Why do we read? Reasons. The purpose of reading: for pleasure and reading for information. Two purposes are mentioned here. And how do we read? How do we read means this is the way of reading. So the main ways of reading are like, skimming, scanning, extensive reading, intensive reading, silent reading, loud reading. These are different ways of reading. Skimming means just we quickly run our eyes, move our eyes over the text, and just we find out key point or that is gist, main gist of the text. That is skimming. मेन जिस्ट तान्ने भनेको स्किमिङ हो। सर हेर्छौँ र हेरिसकेपछि यो टेक्स्ट त यसको बारेमा रहेछ भन्ने कुराहरू, this kind of understanding we develop from skimming reading. Scanning means quickly going through the text and find out particular piece of information, that what exactly what we need, we are searching or we are looking for, do we find out, and we ignore to others, हैन। सबै चाहिँ इन्फर्मेसन हामीलाई आवश्यक नहुन नि सक्छ, जे चाहिन्छ त्यो पिकअप गर्नु नै के हो भने स्क्यानिङ हो। Extensive reading, reading longer text, usually for one's pleasure, reading for pleasure, not so, heavy reading. This is a fluency activity, mainly involving global understanding. Just, readers, they go quickly and, they, pick up, general, information, general understanding they develop. And detailed understanding, complete understanding, comprehension, we don't expect in extensive reading. The extensive reading activity very simple type of activity: fill in the blanks, completing table, and choosing, match the words in column A and their meanings in column B. This type of activities we do at the earlier. This is extensive. Then slowly we go in intensive detailed understanding हुनु पर्छ यसमा। Reading shorter text to extract specific information. This is more an accuracy activity involving reading for detail पढ्नु बुझ्न पर्यो। This is what just you can get ideas from here. And reading skills are here. Reading skills भन्ने यहाँ छ फेरि। Reading involves a variety of skills. The main ones are listed below. Recognizing the script of language, deducing the meaning and use of unfamiliar words, understanding explicitly stated information, understanding information when not explicitly stated. These are a few to mention here. So what you can do is this book, if you read as a reference book, we'll get some ideas about reading, developing reading skills. त्यसमा यहाँ पनि अब हामीले पनि छलफल गरिराखेकै छौं। So from this book also you get some more ideas. Okay. Yes. Yeah, reading को बारेमा हामीले listening and reading, they are the receptive skills, and receptive skills we did last time. And today we discuss productive skills. Productive skills, productive language skills are in speaking and writing. And in our previous class also we discussed writing is more difficult than speaking, but there are some students who enjoy writing and then speaking, especially those shy students who are introvert type of students. They show their hesitation, or they hesitate while speaking. They prefer writing. So reading, writing, and in speaking, these productive skills, in comparison to which one is more difficult, then what type of learners enjoy reading, what type of learners enjoy speaking. This question we discussed in our previous class. You छलफल गरिसकेका छौ प्रोडक्टिभ र रिसेप्टिभमा कुन इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ, कुनलाई फोकस गर्नुपर्छ, we already discussed. And speaking and writing, we already discussed. Here, just be specific and particularized in writing and in speaking. That we finish unit 1, unit 2 पनि हामीले finish गर्छौं. Grammar part लाई unit 6 मा grammar सँगसँगै deal गर्छौं. So right today, talking points I have prepared for the discussion are like, what is reading? This we have to understand. What are the writing skills? We have to understand. What are the purpose or objectives of teaching writings? Then what are the possible texts of teaching writing skills? What are the difficulties of teaching writing? What are the different types of writing? What do students as writers need to learn in writing class? Writing class. What are the activities of teaching writing skills? Activities we discuss. Then what are the approaches? There are process approach and product approach in teaching writing. Then teaching writing is difficult tasks, challenging tasks, complex skill, advanced skill. Why? Finally, we conclude writing section, writing part in this way. Okay. Now, yes, I want to check your chat box. You said intensive reading ko screenshot garnu cha dekaidinu. Okay, I will upload this book in this chat box. This developing reading skills I have uploaded in the chat box. This whole book is there. Many activities, reading skills, possible text, everything is there. Now please check it. Ayo, chat box ma ayo? Response me. Aunu parne. यहाँबाट त गइसकेको छ त. Downloading हुँदै होला त्यहाँ. यहाँ I have sent. Yes, you said came. I'm downloading. Yes. Now got it, yes? Okay. Now, what is writing? यहीबाट डिस्कस गरौँ र पहिलाको क्वेसन यसै पनि सोधिरहेछ प्रिभियस इयर्समा जस्तै like how many English language teachers feel teaching writing or difficult tasks. What reasons can you see behind it? What suggestions do you want to give to these teachers, to those teachers for overcoming their feelings? Okay, that they think teaching writing is difficult. Why? And how guided writing, how free writing, how controlled writing exercises are presented in the textbook. Textbooks यसो हेर्नु होला. Textbooks are actually we can download from CDC website also. Grade 6, 7, 8. 6 textbook is new textbook. We have, and 7 I think this is in the process of writing. लेखनको चरणमा छ र ओल्ड हेर्न पर्यो हैन. एकचोटी टेक्स्टबुक सर हेर्दिनुस् कस्तो कस्तो स्पिकिङ एक्टिभिटी छ, कस्तो कस्तो राइटिङ एक्टिभिटी छ हैन. लिसनिङ रिडिङ एक्टिभिटी कस्तो कस्तो छ भनेर यसो सर हेरौँ एकचोटि टेक्स्ट बुकको होइन ग्रेड 6, 7, 8 को एउटा हेरे हुन्छ सबै हेर्न पर्दैन ग्रेड 6 को हेर्नुस् दिस इज द न्यू टेक्स्ट बुक दिस इज इन वेबसाइट अल्सो यु क्यान डाउनलोड एन्ड चेक ओके now next one is what is process writing how can you make your students independent in writing process writing then how can you make your students independent in writing with the help of process writing explain with suitable examples so these are the questions asked in previous years like compose a couple of paragraphs on the importance of motivation in English language teaching so these are the some questions asked in previous years now let's start from here यहीँबाट सुरु गरौँ है त yes now writing what is writing this is what now see here a couple of paragraphs or a couple of not paragraphs sentences we have to write at the beginning just to introduce the question if question is asked from writing section like writing is one of the language skills writing is one of the language skills it is related to language output listening and reading related to language input speaking and writing related to language output this means when we write we produce something outside is in a visible form writing is an activity of generating tentative ideas rough ideas and translating them into readable text this is the definition of writing so I already requested you to remember at least one definition of language skills like listening is what listening is an activity of paying attention and trying to understand what we hear from something speaking is the ability to speech to produce speech using language to speak friendly appropriately contextually by the use of language and writing is what writing is the activity of generating tentative and rough ideas and translating them into readable text this is what idea development activity meaning making activity sense developing activity so in this way you can write reading is the activity of looking at words and sentences and picking up meaning from them or reading is what dominated by the eyes and the brain eyes receive message brain filters its significance the eye yes this is what these are the definition of language skills यो चाहिँ यसो सम्झनु होला है language skill बाट पक्कै आइहाल्छ हैन then what we write 2-3 sentences in the introduction like this so writing is an activity to generate activity of generating tentative and rough ideas translating them into readable text it is an idea development language activity similarly writing can also be understood as meaning making sense making activity it is a long journey from idea generating to idea generating to translating them into readable text so this is a long journey means what first we generate tentative ideas we collect rough ideas then we prepare draft then we revise then we edit then we go to the final draft and what well organized fine-tuned piece of writing we get so this is what long journey from generating or developing rough ideas to translating them into readable text this is very short paragraph you can talk about writing now next question is what are the different writing skills okay so when we write some skills we have to employ like mechanics organization part selection of appropriate vocabulary use of grammar and then content maintaining content its clarity originality and adequacy 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 these things so as we said in reading skills reading is a combinatorial skill reading involves a variety of other skills in the same way writing is also what Writing is also a combinatorial skill. It involves a variety of skills. Some of the major writing skills are given below: mechanics, using this ability to use using approve correct 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 spelling, punctuation, and what good handwriting. Okay, using correct spelling and punctuation, and making good handwriting and punctuation and good handwriting. Organization means, so we present the ability to present ideas, experience, feelings in logical sequence, maintaining coherence and cohesion, maintaining coherence and cohesion. So this kind of skill students as writers should display or execute or show, and they have to select appropriate vocabularies while writing. Grammar part, it is very important. So writing good syntax, syntax, this means sentences, maintaining good sentence structure, in writing. And content, of course, it is important. So maintaining clarity, originality, education of the content. These are some of the skills we can write. सुनेको छैन? Okay. So these are the some of the skills. Then purpose, we can check curriculum. From curriculum we have to check the learning outcomes of writing. They can be the purpose of teaching writing to the lower secondary level or grade 6, grade 7, grade 8. Okay, what are the objectives of teaching writing? The objectives of teaching writing are the learning outcomes given in curriculum grades 6 to 8. From there we pick up, and curriculum पनि म पठाइदिन्छु. And why do you think writing is difficult task? किन difficult writing? Can you share in the chat box, why do you think writing is difficult? Yeah, please, can you write in the chat box, why do you think writing is difficult? Some points. Yeah, it is okay. It is secondary skill. Okay, secondary skill भनेर difficult होइन. Why it is difficult? Lack of practice. Okay, lack of practice. You said this is secondary skill, and others. Lack of vocabulary practice. Okay. It is translating, it is recursive, lack of cohesion. Yeah, this kind of we have to maintain. So thank you for your sharing. Unknown about writing technique. Okay, requires spelling and punctuation. It is mechanical process. It is because people have a mindset that is inherently difficult. Okay, no sufficient vocabulary because it depends on practice. Okay, thank you. May I request you to stop your writing? Now let's discuss. So why difficult task is difficult in the sense that we can talk from these perspectives, mechanics. So writing demands, writing needs to maintain correct use of spelling, punctuation, and neat and clean handwriting. So because of this, this will be difficult. Okay, spelling should be correct. Punctuation, punctuation should be used appropriately. Handwriting should be, attractive, neat and clean, tidy, should be maintained, but it is difficult. We mechanics part बाट कुरा गर्न सक्ने भयौं, organization part बाट कुरा गर्न सक्ने भयौं. Writing essay or writing, composition includes or consists of presenting internal feelings, experiences, ideas, logical and logical sequence, with evidences. So when we express our internal feelings, meanings, ideas, experiences, then we maintain coherence and cohesion. Okay, the sentence structure, then the ideas connection, everything we have to maintain. This is the organization part of the essay. So this is also a high level of task. Then it's the selection of appropriate vocabulary. If our students, they do not have large amount of vocabulary, of course they feel difficult to write. And grammar, like writing good sentences, correct sentences, in a variety of sentences. Of course this is difficult. And content to present clearly, to show the originality, to express adequately, it is also what difficult task. यताबाट हेरे पनि भयो र यसलाई मैले यसरी लेखिदिएको छु. Teaching writing is difficult and it is advanced skill too. There are some reasons behind this. They are given below. For example, writing is a long journey from creating new ideas to translating them into readable text. During these processes, students as writers have to utilize or use different skills like making notes, summarizing, planning, these things. So of course, engaging in such idea creating and putting them into logical sequence is difficult task. In this way we can say one point. Writing is what? Writing is a long journey from creating new ideas to creating vision, creating ideas or vision to translating them into readable text. During these processes, students as writers have to employ different skills like making notes, summarizing, then planning, drafting, etc. Drafting, etc. Of course, engaging in such idea creating and putting them into logical sequences or difficult tasks. One thing. So this is difficult and advanced in comparison to listening, in comparison to reading, in comparison to speaking. So writing is an idea or meaning making activity. To develop idea or create meaning, students as writers need to utilize both lower order thinking skills. You remember lower order thinking skills. What are they? They are using mechanics like punctuations, spellings, capitalization, agreement patterns, of to higher order thinking skills, higher order thinking skills. Now you check it. Lower order thinking skills like mechanics, punctuation, samanya, full stop, capital letter, question mark, comma, these things we maintain. Then we also check their spelling. We also check their sentence formation and agreement pattern, subject verb agreement. We check. These are what lower order thinking skills. And higher order thinking is such as idea generating, arranging them into logical sequence, maintaining coherence and cohesion. These are what higher order. So writing demands both lower order thinking skills and higher order thinking skills. So maintaining both skills in writing, of course, is challenging part. So generate in order sequence. Therefore, maintaining both type of skills is difficult. This is what challenging, one thing. And third, so to develop or to write well-organized piece of writing, students as writers have to know knowledge of different areas. if they know content knowledge, if they know context knowledge, if they know language system knowledge, if they know what process writing knowledge, so then only what they can produce well organized, fine-tuned, acceptable, readable text. Okay, if they have content knowledge. So content should be adequate, content should be clear, content should be presented clear way, so this kind of knowledge first learners should have. Content knowledge then writing becomes what, not so worthy. Context knowledge, of course, it is another important area that students they have to know. Then language system knowledge means sentence formation, rules and regulation, these things. And knowledge of process writing means this planning, drafting, revising, editing, producing final draft. These are the different processes of writing. So these they must have, otherwise writing won't be such like as we expect, like idea creating, meaning making activity bhanira chha hune testo hudaina. So having knowledge of above mentioned areas is not simple and easy way, it is difficult one. Okay, in summary, the difficulties of dealing with writing can be summarized in the following points. Like in this way you can write: maintaining well organized sentence syntax. Syntax means sentences, or using a variety of variety of sentences. This is one difficulty area. Having a range of vocabulary. Okay, using a variety of variety of vocabulary. This is another difficulty. So maintaining spelling, accurate spelling, maintaining accurate spelling. So this is, and maintaining punctuations. Let's not write here mechanics, punctuations, PUNCTUAT, punctuations, capitalization, full stop, question mark, comma, and there are other different punctuations. So maintaining them also difficult. And presenting ideas, then ideas, feelings in a logical sequence, maintaining coherence and cohesion. Coherence and cohesion. So these are few to mention here, and so few points you can add here, and you can make these are the difficulty areas of what writing. We can conclude it. So I want to check your chat box. Sir, please tell us, so when do you provide? So I have sent, I think the before yesterday, I have sent some notes to the administration, union administration. Please contact there. When I complete this reading, when I complete this writing and speaking, then I will send again. Okay, you contact. 2 different notes I have sent. Okay, then these now these are the difficulties of teaching writing. Another one is what kind of question may ask is why do you think writing is advanced skill, advanced skill, complex skill, माथिकै आउँछ फेरि आउन त complex skill, complex skill भने 3टा कुराहरु चाहिँ हामीले यहाँ नछोड्नु हुँदैन. 3 like number 1 is what students should have the knowledge of different areas. One thing, students should engage at different processes while writing. Second, third is students. Third one is students have to employ different writing skills. यति तीनटा चाहिँ हामीले बिर्सनु हुन किन एडभान्स छ किन कम्प्लेक्स छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ दिस एटलिस्ट दिस थ्री एरियाज लाइक डिफरेंट नलेज एरियाज मा चाहिँ सो जस्ट वी क्यान मेन्सन दिस इज व्हाट content knowledge and context knowledge, LEDG. Then what language system knowledge, language system knowledge, LANGUAG, language knowledge, and what knowledge of process writing. Process writing. These are here under the knowledge of different areas, and process writing under here you can write. So students cannot produce their well organized piece of writing at once at the first attempt. Many attempts they need, like they have to engage in planning stage, they have to do what drafting stage, they have to revising stage, they have to do in editing stage, and what only producing final draft. These are different stages they have to engage. Planning ma engage hunu paryo, drafting ma engage hunu paryo, revising editing ma engage hunu paryo. So at once, at the first effort, at the first attempt, students they do not produce well organized piece of writing. They have to engage in different stages like planning, drafting, revising, editing, producing, and final draft like this. And similarly, students have to use a number of writing skills like writing skills. For example, note taking can be one writing skill. Then summarizing skill is necessary. SUMMARI, summarizing skill they need. Then paraphrasing, paraphrasing skill they need. Paraphrasing skill they need. Then they need planning skill also they need, drafting skill also they need. So there are many skills students they have to employ in course of writing. So because of these, because of knowledge of different areas, because of different processes where students are expected to engage, because of different writing skills which they have to employ. Writing is what advanced skill, complex skill. यो त्यो तीनटा कुरा चाहिँ नबिर्सनु होला. Different areas knowledge, and different processes of writing, and what different writing skills they have to employ, or they have to use, they have to engage, they have to follow. Then what writing is what difficult one, complex one. We can do this. In this way, okay, we can do. Okay, this is the difficulty. Okay, now may we go ahead? Yes. Now writing activities. What are the writing activities? Question. What are the writing activities that can be used while teaching writing to the lower secondary level students? So activity a variety of writing activities can be used in writing class. Some of them are given, like combining sentences. So different types of writing we have, like there are different types of different types of writing, like control writing, CONTROL, control writing, then guided writing, then what, and free writing. Free writing. To teach these different types of writing, we can use the following. Sorry, we can teach the following following writing activities. कुनै control को छ, कुनै guided को छ, कुनै के छ free writing को छ. Okay, so combining sentences can be of control writing, conversion control writing, sentence starter can be what, guided writing, हैन. Yes, these are a few ones, like combining sentences. This is sentences are there, then just we combine. This is a kind of control writing, because there is no such freedom to select their own structure, their own pattern, their own words given there. Just we combine them. Then conversion exercises also, this is control writing. This is also control writing, and control writing. And sentence starter, this is guided example of guided writing, because students are, to some extent, they are free. For example, we say he is, so here students half part teacher provides, half part students they write, and complete sentence will be there. Here half part is free for them, half part this is given there, but half part they think and there. For example, some students, they say he is a boy, he is a boy भन्न पनि सक्ने भयो, र अर्को के पनि छ भने he is a good boy भन्न नि सक्ने भयो हैन. त्यस्तै he is gentle boy भन्नु सक्ने भयो हैन. So this kind of freedom students may have while doing this sentence starter activity. Some hints are given, but not totally free. Some points are given as the guidelines, and they can use their some ingenuity, their creativity also. So this is what guided writing. And proofreading can also be one activity to check spelling, punctuation, and this can be what one a kind of this is proofreading is guided type of writing. We can that context determines some context is there, and that context is guide. Then students can there use their creativity also. Dictation, this is a kind of this is also guided writing, because they can make they can, to some extent, they can use their ingenuity. तिनीहरुको कुशलता पनि तिनीहरुको कुशलता भनौं न, ingenuity, creativity they can show हैन. Then यसलाई guided भन्दा control भन्दा के है, control writing, because if the text is dictated, then exact they have to write. Developing skeleton is what this is guided. GUI guided type of writing. Then expanding text, this is also guided. GUI guided writing. They go on expanding. And then revising, reduction activities, brainstorming. This brainstorming is what this is also quick write चाहिँ हाम्रो free मा राख्दिउ न, free writing. They freely they write. There is no any judgmental, any structure pattern. They freely write. Spidergram activity or mind mapping, this is collecting rough ideas. This is also free. You free malana sakincha. And then clustering, this is what guided. Guided writing. So in this way we can do. And constructing sentences means a kind of ingenuity we can show. Guided writing we can do. And essay writing, this is what writing composition writing or constructing writing composition essay. Of course here will be what this is free writing. Now these we can do. So combining sentences, conversion exercise, sentence starter, proofreading, dictation, developing skeleton, expanding text, reduction, quick write, then quick write or free write, free write, so spidergram, then freely they can use like brainstorming, BRAINSTORM, brainstorming. So freely they can say, there is no judgmental, right, wrong, they freely express this. Clustering, just there are the points, and from the points we just mention we just mention the grouping. And constructing sentences, some points will be there, then on the basis of that they prepare sentences or construct sentences. And free writing. So these in terms of these we can use we can use these activities while teaching writing. Some activities for control writing, some activities for guided writing, some activities for free writing. In this way we can do. So there are two approaches in teaching writing: a process approach and product approach. Process approach is more important. Product approach, we still follow this product approach in our teaching. Now see here, process approach is what this is multi-draft activity, and it is idea development process. Process writing is an idea development activity, consists of some processes or stages like planning, drafting, editing, producing final draft. These are, during these processes, students as writers go back and forth. Go back and forth means when they go at the editing stage, they need to go. Sometimes they may require to go in the planning stage. When they go to the revising stage, sometimes they go back to the drafting stage also. So this is a kind of going back and forth. This kind of writing is what process writing. It is because of this kind of process writing can also be understood recursive writing. Recursive भनेको तपाईको घुमिरहने के कहिले स्टेज 2 मा गएको छ, स्टेज 1 मा पनि आउन सक्ने सम्भावना हुन्छ, स्टेज 4 मा पुगेको छ, स्टेज 4 भनेको एडिटिङ मा पुगेको छ, रिभाइजिङ मा आउन सक्ने, ड्राफ्टिङ मा आउन सक्ने, प्लानिङ फेरि केही नयाँ कुरा जेनेरेट गर्नुपर्ने हुन पनि सक्छ. So because of this kind of nature of writing, process writing, we can call it what recursive writing, recursive or spiral activity पनि भन्न सकिन्छ यसलाई हामीले. So this just introduction part of process writing. And process writing consists of the following processes like planning, and this is the idea gathering activity, idea gathering stage, then idea generating stage, the following like brainstorming, spidergram, outlining, making notes, consulting related resources, thinking about topic. We can do, for example, if the topic is about COVID-19, teacher asks students like to brainstorm on the topic. Freely students they share what they know. This is a kind of free writing. When they share ideas, then teacher writes on the board their ideas. Then teacher does not judge their ideas at this stage. You said right, you said wrong, so freely they say. This is a kind of brainstorming on the topic. So planning stage is what? The idea collecting, idea gathering stage. So drafting is what? Now we elaborate, we expand idea into larger units, like sentence, like paragraphs. Sentence starter activity we make the sentence by the use of words. Then quick write we can make, then elaboration exercise we can do, expanding text can be done in the drafting stage. For example, teacher gives some ideas or words to the students which are taken from the first stage, that planning stage, and they will be asked to write sentences by elaborating, expanding the given ideas or words. In this way they will form initial draft or first draft they will prepare. So revising, in the revising stage they share their draft, and they get peer feedback, teacher feedback, and self correction can be there. Then they organize, they check the, in the revising stage they check coherence and cohesion part. They check here coherence and cohesion part. They check here ideas, in a logical sequence, naturally, flowing the ideas in the text. So these things we check. And editing is we check the grammar, spelling, and there will be proofreading, and finally what we produce the final draft. This is what this is now at this stage readable and understandable draft will develop. Readable. So writing we defined, writing is the process of generating tentative ideas and doing editing, substituting, omitting, modifying, simplifying, elaborating, everything we do in between this planning and editing. Then finally what we develop a kind of readable and what understandable draft that will be what well organized piece of writing. In this way it is writing. So yes, we can do this. Skeleton भन्ने बित्तिकै short skeleton story त्यसमा आइहाल्यो नि. Skeleton भनेको story हुन सक्ला, अरु essay हुन सक्ला हैन. So this can be skeleton is what one. Dialogue also what one skeleton. In the dialogue activity also some points will be given, then they elaborate, they expand, and they complete the dialogue. So skeleton भित्र राख्नुपर्छ यसलाई. Skeleton a kind of framework is given, a kind of key points are given, key ideas are given, then students they what expand, they elaborate, they develop ideas and make one full what essay or story. Okay, in this way we do about writing. Yes, Mahesh Casey, you have written that. So what are the differences between revising and editing? In revising, what happens, revising is here, especially we focus on overall organization of idea. For example, some ideas which are given in the third paragraph may need to put in the first paragraph, and first paragraph may need put in the third paragraph. So this kind of reorganization of paragraphs, ideas, content will be checked. Overall organization of the writing will be checked in revising. But in editing, so language editing like proofreading we do, and then we check the grammar, spelling, this and that we do in the editing stage. So cohesion and coherence part, cohesion and coherence, these are what two such important concepts in writing. They talk about the logical presentation of ideas, and the relationship between lexical items or the relationship between the sentences. This will be in what coherence and cohesion. Idea relation ko and sentence relation ko kuraharu heriन्छ. For example, just we can write like this. Cohesion and coherence ko part ma just to exemplify, we can do Ram is a boy, he is good. यस्तो सेन्टेन्स पनि लेख्नु पर्ने हुन्छ के. यो भनेको के हो भने यहाँ Ram is a boy, he is a what good भनेको ही र रामको रिलेशनशिप छ के. यहाँ ही र रामको रिलेशनशिप छ. दिस काइन्ड अफ लेक्सिकल रिलेशनशिप इज व्हाट कोहेजन हो कि कोहेरेन्स हो, यो हेर्ने एउटा पार्ट. अर्को पार्ट why are you late, question, and answer is what there was traffic jam. There was TRAFFIC, traffic jam. This kind of sentences also we have to write. Like, why are you late? There is no any lexical connection in these two question and answer. Question, why are you late? When I said there was traffic jam, I was late because of this. There was traffic jam. This kind of idea linking. Yeah, idea linking. Lexical linking. So above one is what? This is cohesion. Then below is what? There is coherence. So this kind of part, we check in writing. So this we do. Okay, now let's conclude this. So speaking, many times, directly, indirectly, we are we are talking. Then just you remember about what these pictures, games, songs, rhymes, in your like usma speaking ma abo hamle यसलाई close पनि गर्नुपर्छ unit 2 लाई just I will show you speaking. Just a couple of ideas. So in teaching speaking, just what is speaking, you have to understand. Then what are the speaking skills or micro skills or soft skills? What are the possible texts for teaching speaking? What are the problems of teaching speaking? What are the strategies or techniques, activities of teaching speaking? What are the possible tasks for teaching speaking? How to teach speaking skills? So these points are given here. Activities, all the communicative activities like songs, games, rhymes, using pictures, using real object, acting, demonstration, role play, dramatization, peer work, group work. So these all are what speaking activities. Okay, so my request is to go through that. And one more important point is this: to develop speaking competence, students, they have to know these 3 areas, like knowledge of language and discourse, means how the sentence is formed, what are the rules and regulation or norms of linguistic system. Students, they have to know this. Sentence the banaunu paryo, while speaking, sentence should be used. For that they should have this kind of knowledge. And core speaking skills like pronunciation, sound system, communication strategies. Then like knowledge of language, grammatical knowledge, phonological knowledge, vocabulary knowledge, discourse or conversation knowledge. Core speaking skills these are the what speaking skills, like using correct pronunciation, questioning style, paraphrasing, supporting and clarifying, summarizing, speaking coherently. Okay, these pronunciation, speech function, interaction, discourse organization. These we have to focus while teaching speaking. Then finally, these are the activities we use in speaking class, like communicative games, discussion and debates, story, jokes, anecdotes, drama, role play, simulation, presentation and talks, conversation and chat, oral drills, dialogue, information gaps, singing songs, then interviewing, introducing, picture describing, problem solving, acting, summarizing, oral report, whole class discussion, whole class brainstorming, performing. So there are different activities we can use, tongue twister, project-based activities. So in this way, my request is I provide these notes for you, and you prepare from your side. Then we conclude this unit 2. Then in our next class we start another unit. I don't upload in this chat box. I will send to the administration, and administration will distribute to you. Okay. Yes, thank you. Primary class, now you start your class.